What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Cromey Show. Today, guys, we have a very special guest. We're joined by none other than Jake the Ripper, previously convicted lady killer.
What's up, dude? What's up, dude? Yo, bro, thanks for having me on the show. It's a pretty epic show.
It's a pleasure to have you.
It's gnarly. I'm super stoked.
Yeah, awesome. That's great to hear. That's fantastic. We're all super yoked up in here, so we're happy to do the beer. Alright, guys, so today's, can you guess what today's theme is?
Not a clue, brother.
Motivation. As you guys probably seen in the previous videos that have been going up, it's all about motivation. My laptop just went off there.
That's my laptop, bro.
That's sorry. Alright, yeah.
He's a stealing.
I'm a stealing. So
Are we stealing?
we're steaming.
Only one of you will get that.
Yeah. And it's not me. So guys, yeah, today we're going to talk about motivation. We've got a few questions here. We've got a bit of experience between the pair of us.
Yeah.
Expert, professional,
Advice.
elite.
Content.
Yeah, advice content.
Yeah.
So it's going to be elite advice
I
content.
think the best, actually.
Yeah.
I think the best out there.
It kind of says it here actually as well.
That we are.
That we're the best.
Oh,
Yeah. This is the best place and most reputable place.
Yo, and
to
that's
get your
from the
info.
fucking internet, too.
Yeah. It's up there on Google Docs.
We made it.
That's
That's how you motivate yourself, boys. You just go into Google Docs, you write it down, you say, you are the best.
We can ask our first question.
What's the first question?
That was Beethoven.
No, it wasn't.
What do you think of motivation as a tool?
Personally.
Yes.
It's not someone else's spin. It's quite helpful. Motivation can be really helpful during dire times, like when you want to overcome a goal. And
Get over that wave.
yeah, when you want to get over. What do you think of motivation as a tool? I think it's also really good for when you're trying to get out of a rut.
Yeah.
If you're stuck in mediocrity, bro, motivation's good, but I don't think it's be all end all.
Yeah, no. Okay, that's a good point. Yeah, so like motivation isn't like it's you don't need it, but it's really good to have.
It starts the fire. It starts you kicking.
That's the thing. It starts you kicking. So it's really useful then, because you basically whilst it takes a lot more to actually achieve something and get something like your like a decent body, for example, or to lose weight, for example. There's a lot more that goes into that, and it's not motivation, right?
Yeah.
But motivation is what gets you to do all of that, or to set up all of that and create that system, I guess. Mine's kind of the same. It's kind of like I've gotten to a point now where I can use motivation on off like whenever I want. So like if I'm feeling like absolute garbage some morning, for example, I can just look. I know.
You know what makes you tick.
I know what makes me tick. Yeah, because I've looked at it. I've like studied it, and I know like okay.
Yeah, that's fair.
I can look at this video, or I can think this thought, or I can look in that direction.
But I think it's
I
unfair
can
to
twist
say.
my neck this way, or no.
Because
Sometimes
motivation
it's
definitely
impossible.
dips. It's like
100%. Yeah.
you got to go through rough patches without being motivated, without wanting to get somewhere.
Yeah.
It's just your pure desire behind it. If you're gonna keep going.
The desire is what's really
Yeah.
gonna get you there. Yeah, 100%.
I think there's also a side of the argument like for having too much motivation.
Mhm.
That if you're uneducated in like other forms, other characteristics of training, like you see this the whole time with when people come back after Christmas and people go ham. And I don't have any
It's a good
statistics on it,
analogy,
but
actually.
I'm sure that like you're more prone to injury if you just go ham for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And
it can be harmful.
yeah, it's like it's not a longevity game. You're probably not enjoying it at all.
But it's a short-term game, right?
But it's a short term
if
game.
you have a short-term goal, motivation is probably perfect for it,
True.
right?
True.
But when it comes to getting that long-term goal, motivation is just so inconsistent.
Yeah.
Such an inconsistent tool. But you can make it consistent if you know the outcomes and you know how to apply it, right? Which is the whole point of document yourself.
What's the next question, Luke?
Question numero dos, Jake, is what is your favorite form of, or what's your favorite source of motivation? Would that change it? Would that
Source,
still-
like individual?
So a source would be like a video, an individual,
Okay.
or a mindset. A mindset that you have, like competing with someone, for example.
Yeah, okay.
Competing with yourself, chip on your shoulder for example.
Well, in
is quite a big one.
that case, I think there's like different types of motivation in the sense of there's like short-term motivations.
Yeah.
Like you can be, say, motivation in a match, like to win a match, or if there's competitive nature in any sport match, like anything where there's two people competing against each other or whatever. There can be a short-term motivation, so that like that's just fire. That's competitive fire. So you don't need anything to fuel that.
Yeah.
Other than that.
Well, you need to be.
You need to be competitive.
You want to be,
but other than that, like if it's just you against you, I mean we've talked about it before a lot. Like David Goggins is my go-to because when it comes to motivation, the main thing I would struggle with to get motivation for, and the hardest thing to do is to go out and go running. Yeah. And like keep consistently running because it's enjoyable, but it's like I love running. But it's not when you're about to go for a run. You're like, oh, my ankle's slightly sore.
It's not something you're excited.
It's not exciting. Not all the time.
Oh, the kind of
But like for instance, like one tip that you hear so many people say, like David and stuff, is you go out like David Goggins. It feels so weird.
I just can't call him first.
David Goggins, like David Goggins says. Goggins. You go out. Like say you think so you're going to go for 20k, 30k, and you're like, or 5k or whatever. You're going to run as much as you can, but you go to yourself. You're like, no, my ankle's too sore. So you just call off the whole run. And I think that's happened to me so many times in the past. Whereas like after watching him, researching him, looking up him, I get to a point where you're like, I'm going to do a 2k.
Yeah.
I'm going to take it spot, and by the time you're at that competitive nature, same as if you're against someone, because you're against yourself at the end of the day, that competitive comes in and you're like, fuck it, I'm just going to keep running. I'm going to keep going.
But as a teaser, guys, for the previous video, that just takes into account 3 of the rules Jake just applied. So
did I just apply 3 rules?
You just applied 3 of my rules to motivation.
Fuck yeah.
In order to get yourself going out for a run. So
that's radical, bro.
Boom. It's radical, man. No, that's a pretty good answer though. So you would say, seeing other people who have done worse, or like obviously better, but gone through worse.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Just kind of makes you go, well.
Yeah, the hardship, especially at a time like this,
which would be kind of gratitude in a sense that as well, right? Because you're kind of just grateful. Well,
grateful for what you have. Yeah.
4 rules.
Yeah.
Boom.
He just linking in a room.
Yes.
No, like that's actually a good point. For the time, like I've ran in this quarantine thing. Yeah. I ran the furthest I've ever ran in one space, which is 20k. Yeah. Which I mean might be nothing to some of you, might be most to some of you,
might be inconceivable to some.
But that was exactly. I didn't think I could really run 20k. Like the most I ever ran was 14, 15, maybe 16k.
And at a stretch, then sometimes, right? Like sometimes it was
at
like
a stretch, that's hard. Like when we did the Tough Mudder, it was 15k, but a lot of those.
I remember when I did my first Tough Mudder, I couldn't see myself going past 11 ever.
No,
I was like, that's it. That's like the end of the world distance, right?
Exactly.
It's like you go over the edge of the disc,
but
that is the Earth.
I found what made me tick, which is Goggins.
Okay, yeah.
So I watched Goggins before the run.
Yeah.
I didn't even listen to him the whole time on the run.
Yeah.
I just had music in my ears, but you just like play back the tape. Yeah. One of the quotes that he has was really nice. I like, and this is kind of shows along the lines of like what motivates me. Talking about that chip on the shoulder thing.
SEAL Boat 16 or SEAL Team 16.
No.
Boat Team 16.
That's not.
Boat Team 2.
I don't say that over and over in my head, but
Boat Team 2.
But his thing, I heard it. He didn't even like really fire on it. One of the quotes that he said that kept going through my mind was, "Don't kill him with kindness, make him suffer in your success." So that kind of shows what motivates me. What are you writing?
I'm searching your quote for you here.
Oh. I couldn't think of your quote from it. So that's what I was running back in that 20k. Don't kill him with kindness, make him suffer through your success. And that's just kind of like.
That's good.
When I say that to a camera, that makes me feel like I'm being vain.
Yeah.
But that's purely what got me through. Even if that's like, it's not necessarily like you got a chip on your shoulder for someone, but that can be the last week's you, the you that ate a burger 2 seconds ago.
Yeah.
Like you saying, fuck this kid, I'm gonna run 20k.
Yeah.
This guy doesn't think he can run 16k.
Yeah.
You're competing against past you.
I think I've got a really good way of specifying that because I've just said that you're not going to let that pussy from yesterday beat you today, and you're going to give that asshole tomorrow a hell of a fucking challenge.
That's nice.
Right?
Yeah.
Something along those lines.
Yeah.
So you're kind of like, tomorrow you're an asshole. Yesterday you're a pussy. Today you're not going to have it. You're not going to please either of them.
I like that.
For the benefit.
Yeah.
Obviously not seriously fuck yourself
Yeah.
up. Favorite form is then there's got to be gratitude because gratitude pumps me up so much. Right? Like if you're just like writing down what you're grateful for, you're kind of like, wow, awesome. Like you get so much energy. But anyway, we'll go on to question 3, which is how do you use motivation to accomplish your goals? Or achieve your fitness goals?
Yeah, so the music you listen to in the morning, I think music has a heavy impact on like how you feel in a day.
Okay, yeah.
And how you feel in a day contributes to how motivated you are at any given task.
Definitely.
So depends on the like if you're in a good mood, you listen to bopper music, some banging techno in the background,
Banging tunes.
and like the sun's out. The sun gives like a lot of motivation for the day for you to complete your goals.
I think as well, honestly. Yeah.
I think like you wake up and the sun's out, you got tunes on,
If the sun's out, the guns are out.
you drink a nice
So-
bit of coffee. Yeah, it's lovely.
Yeah. Big time. Yeah.
For sticking to diet or like your nutrition plan, like diet, you know, kind of outdated term.
Yeah, cookbooks, recipe
cookbooks,
pages.
Follow healthy food sources on say Instagram, whatever social media you tend to be running through. Like I spend a lot of time. I spend a lot of time on social media. I think we all do.
Surround yourself in those kind of habits. Surround yourself in good habits wherever you can, and using social media is actually a really good place for that because you can't always fill your home with really fresh and beautiful fruit because sometimes you don't eat it all, it goes off and it's expensive. But you can always follow the right kind of topics and the right kind of content.
That's the same with people like
refreshes your
following
mind.
fitness, say influencers,
Yeah.
and like so you get to see maybe what you desire or whatever, and but also to say to that,
Which is what you get if you hit that subscribe button.
so if you think you want to be like them, and then you can't, your motivation might dwindle on the topic.
How would you avoid that then?
That's where education.
Trick question, you'd follow the Cromey Zone to get all of the most reputable
Damn.
and recent
Damn.
facts on fitness
Damn.
and health advice.
Fuck. Something like MyFitnessPal.
Mhm.
Use it like
Okay.
when you get on a streak. Like
Yeah.
So one thing that they have is a streak. So every single day you're like track.
Yeah.
You're firing up. You just get more. You get more fuel as you go along, and like fucking.
The more you invest, the more you have to.
Yeah, I hit a 25, because I used to be so inconsistent on that. I hit a 25-day streak 2 days ago. I was boom, and so far all my realistic goals that I've researched are coming in play.
Yeah.
And I'm still feeling fueled for it.
Yeah.
So my motivation is not dwindling at the minute. Like it's firing me up.
Okay, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the more motivation you have, actually feels the motivation you garner acts as coal to your
For more motivation.
Yeah. So that's a sort of cyclic effect that you guys can actually get with that. And that's pretty true. I've actually never used that kind of analogy, but that's actually quite that's quite relevant. Yeah. The more you put into motivating yourself, the more likely you are to. It's a motivator in itself.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah. And you have to know that you can kick that off. You can get off that bandwagon with a single step.
Yeah.
So like you still have to be strict on yourself.
Yeah.
But the more strict on yourself, or not the happier, because you might not be searching happiness. But like the more content you'll be with yourself and your motivation forever.
Like you might have had to climb 20 steps to get that high on the ladder, but you only have to take one step back to jump off the whole thing.
Yeah.
So you got to keep that in mind and don't look down.
But appreciate those 20 steps, and I also think like that. The whole movement to appreciate the journey is definitely something, because I haven't in the past appreciated the journey.
Yeah.
And then I come like, what's with that light?
I'm gonna turn off the sun's gone.
Oh, the sun went away.
Hope you guys enjoy the new lighting.
Yeah, out my eyes.
Yeah, it's so white in here.
Yeah, fuck. Boot it on.
So next question. All right, guys. The next question is coming up right after a word from our sponsors.
Oh look, what are you drinking?
Oh, Jake, I'm glad you asked. Well, guys, I'm actually drinking some hot chocolate from Organo Gold. As you can see there on the camera.
Put it to the camera.
Put it to the camera, let that focus. You audio listeners, Organo Gold, hot chocolate. This stuff is infused with a superfood called Ganoderma, or reishi, as some of you may know, as a lot of people know it by. This is basically packed with nutrients, and it's just really, really healthy coffee, hot chocolate, or tea. Guys, this stuff blends really well and mixes into everything. All you need is just hot water if you want a little bit of milk, but honestly, like, this stuff it's just really good. And we've got here the King of Coffee, which is one of the best ones, I think. It tastes really good. It's so smooth. You can actually taste the Ganoderma in it as well, which is really cool. You can't really taste Ganoderma in the rest of them, but they all taste absolutely delicious. Like, it's really good gourmet coffee. So guys, we're actually going to be selling this stuff. You can see the link in the description, or you can visit cromeys.myorganogold.com. So
yes, sir.
That will be in the description, and you guys can purchase these products. Or if you'd like, you can save up on that shipping fee. You can text us directly, either on Instagram by our numbers or the email that's also going to be in the description there. You can let us know exactly what kind of products you want, how much of which, and we'll give you individual sachets if you want to give it a try for about 7 days or a month period. We do those little challenges as well. Anyway guys, I'd really appreciate it if you check this out, or if you want to buy a box as well. It's really good stuff. We really love doing it, and we're really happy to be partnered with them and selling the product. Anyway, now we'll let you guys get back to the podcast.
The fuck is he? What? What are you doing now? Like, he's just gone outside. Like, he just stormed out. Fucking Jesus. What the fuck are you at? Doggo. Oh, yeah.
We're our sponsors.
Last question. What difference is there in how you saw motivation a year ago and how you see it now?
So it was harder to motivate myself then, and because of that, there was no like continuous fuel for the fire.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Like, it would dwindle and it would come back in its natural cycles. I think it went back to its natural cycles.
Constantly random.
It was completely random.
Seemingly random.
Yeah.
Which I think is quite similar for a lot of people, or a lot of people's cases. For those of you guys who don't really know, motivation is something you can actually call upon. It's an energy that you just fucking, like, you can find out what gives you that kind of energy and draws that kind of ideas out of you, and then you can work on it and you can call it whenever you need to.
It's strong, but you can't rely on it.
Whenever, yeah, and you can't rely on it.
It's not reliable.
Yeah, it's not reliable.
Yeah,
but it's powerful.
So one, I got to see what motivates me, so I know what makes me tick. Which
but
I
you
wouldn't
always
have known.
had that choice, right?
Yeah, I would have had the
Knowledge
choice,
now.
but now I have the knowledge. Consistency is key. This was like
It's
all the
true
time.
though. Yeah.
But actually, okay. So the difference between
Consistency is a motivation.
consistency is a complete motivation.
Your brain likes to be consistent.
Yeah.
If you've done something twice, it kind of wants to do it 4 times. That not make sense? Maybe that's just me.
You sound like
If I start seeing a line, I want to keep that as a line. I don't want to see. Like,
Yeah, true.
That's perfectionism,
and that can be bad.
but you can use perfectionism.
And you
again.
don't want to plateau.
Perfectionism is can be a very negative thing, but you can use it as a very positive thing if you understand how to use it. So go on. Yeah.
I think it's a hard topic to discuss. I actually off the top. I had no
Motivation.
I had no motivation on this topic. No, but motivation, yes, it's a great tool. I've talked about it already. We've talked about it already. It's a great tool. It's brilliant. I use it differently these days than I did in the past.
Yeah.
Because I can call upon it at will.
Yeah.
So I'm just a beast god.
Yeah. Which is no, but honestly, yeah, it's like the biggest thing.
You can kind of go like that. Doesn't mean that we don't slack. I slack the whole time.
100%. Yeah,
I do slack
I slack all the time too.
all the time.
Everyone slacks all the time, especially now. People are like looking at us like, you guys are doing everything all the time. Nah, we take
But that's part of your motivation.
strategic laziness.
Yes.
Everybody. Strategic laziness. Massive.
When you wake up the next day, you say, you hold yourself accountable for what you do.
Yes.
So you can be lazy but be accountable.
Yeah.
And then your motivation won't dwindle.
Yeah.
Because if you're not accountable for your laziness, you'll end up doing something like, I don't know, eating 10 bags of tortilla chips. And then you say, oh fuck, I ate 10 bags of tortilla chips.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh no, well, bog standard is out the window. Like, I'm not going to be motivated anymore.
And that works best proactively as much as reactively, right? Because if you only do it reactively, you can actually get depressed.
Yeah.
Right? If you feel shit about how
Proactive
lazy
is a nice thing to think about, actually.
Yeah,
because like there was fucking cornettos in that fridge yesterday. Oh
Right.
no, 3 days ago. And
Right.
I seen them 3 days ago, and I was like, oh
Haven't touched them.
shit.
Yeah,
shit,
it's like, I
shit,
want that
shit.
Cornetto, yeah.
I'm gonna go for a run. So I ran a 5K, and
Yeah.
then I was like, okay, I can have my Cornetto tonight.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there you go. Exactly like that. Yeah, like if you just you don't have to always work off what you haven't done,
No.
but you can work for what you're going to have.
Yeah.
Right. Which is a really fun thing. Which is a really cool kind of strategic lazy. Anyway, guys. As always, thank you so much for watching or listening. For our podcast members, remember you can find the podcast on Spotify, Anchor. It's not on iTunes yet, but it'll be somewhere else. If you guys want to check out this Organo products, you can check it out on our website. Link is going to be in the bio down below. Or message us directly and see if you can get some tasters or samples for yourself. Or friends and family. It's a very healthy way to get some very good nutrients into your body. Lastly, but not least, guys, make sure you hit that subscribe button over on YouTube.
That's what we're gonna do.
And smash the fuck out of that like button, because touch that camera there because it's dying. We are going to appeal to the YouTube algorithm and start working on this shit, because we're taking this very seriously now.
Sir!
Absolutely.
We sirs!
Sirs! And guys, with that, remember, always
Stay fit, stay happy, stay healthy! Dudes, radical, bruh!